Hi, Cancer, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 16th to the 29th, 2024 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you so much for doing so. So, these cards fell out, so I'm going to lay them out right here. This is an intense time for everyone. It's not a bad time. There's just an intensity to the last half of February. So being aware of that is just going to be super important because then we know, okay, everybody is going through a bit of stuff, right? And we just need to have our compassion on, and that's going to be very, very, very important for us. A tower time is coming. That's not a bad thing. I know people go, oh no, a tower time, like run and hide. It's not bad. What it is that there's a big change that is coming that is going to change the way that we look at ourselves and kind of like our relationship to the world. It can be a self actualization that comes into play. It can be something very like that people would say, "Oh, that's a small thing. Like, why are you taking it as such a big deal?" But it has a big impact on us. So just be mindful about this during this time. We have the Five of Cups crowning us. It's change your mind and change your life. We're really pulling ourselves out of a place where we tend to focus on the negative or the overwhelming and not see the beautiful healing love that is right behind us. The Two of Swords are reversed, and what that is here is we're going to be kind of like set on it has to be A or it has to be B. It has to be just like this. And Spirit's like, no, there's going to be a different path that moves us forward. But until we realize that, we're going to be a bit stuck. So just being aware of that energy is going to be super important for us. And that's going to lead us to the Wheel of Fortune reverse, where we're entering into a new season. But again, there's a sense of like, no, because we want things to turn out one way or the other, kind of have ourselves set on it'll be A or it'll be B. And Spirit saying, no, there's going to be more there. And that leads to the tower time. That leads to the time where what we thought, like the foundation that we thought we had, we don't. And that can be very frustrating, but it's also going to be very liberating. Be mindful of your money during this time. Like save your pennies, be prudent with things. Also focus on the detail. We're going to want things to happen very quickly. They tend to happen a lot more slowly. That can be very frustrating to us. We're balancing a lot. There is going to be trickery. We are also dealing with, and that's here with the Two of Pentacles. We have the repeat of the number two, one in the upright position and one reverse. And so there's creativity coming forward. There's also duality to our own being coming forward, but we're going to see that one is like positive and the other one gives us a little bit of of pushback. So just being aware of that. We have the Four of Cups. And again, that's us being very focused on this way, on three cups, and not seeing the one cup that Spirit is saying, hey, I want you to try it this way. So there's going to be three things that we are really set on. It has to be just like this. And Spirit is saying to us, why not different? And let us move towards love because the other ones are going to be more frustrating. They're going to be more aggravating. They're going to be more intense. And Spirit is saying, what if we move towards love? The Eight of Wands reverse, things are happening slowly. We want things to happen really, really quickly. And that's another thing that everybody has in common during this time is that we want everything to happen so quickly. And Spirit's like, it's going to be slow go. So just being aware of that is going to be super important for us as well. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Now, if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a heart in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of March in a completely separate video. So good luck to everyone. And if you're interested in a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. It is listed in the description box below. And for a limited time, I have a offer of a mini reading by popular request. So check that out if you are interested. I also, by popular request, have a donate button now on my channel. So if you are interested in that, it is linked in the description box below, but also in the main, I think, like homepage of my channel. So yeah, you guys are awesome. So thank you. And thank you to everybody who donates. You guys are just so amazing. This does take a lot of time and a lot of effort. So thank you all so very much. And I'm just so happy to be here with you guys. We have meditate and we have spontaneous, which they don't seem to go together, but they actually do. So what we're going to see is that the more we meditate, the more we connect with our inner selves, the more we're going to see how our soul wants us to be spontaneous, how we want to kind of like go against the mold of certain things and just embrace the joy. So, slowing things down, meditating, contemplating, connecting with our inner self is going to have us really embrace and follow the joy that that sparks. Our chakra energy, angels, and spirit guides show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides. This is the inner child. This is the heart chakra. The inner child has also been coming up a lot lately. This sense of embracing our inner joy, our inner child, how it is that we've seen ourselves since we were small, and how it is that we truly are. So embracing that inner child is going to be absolutely beautiful. Our joy, our love, our connection, our desire, and just holding our arms up to our inner child, the inner child meditation of taking a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you, and seeing the adult that you are now, holding your arms open to the child that you once were, and seeing that kid run into your arms, and just giving that child the biggest hug, giving yourself the biggest hug, and saying, I love you, I'm here for you, I will always be here for you, I will always listen to you. You're my best and my most important. I see you and I hear you. And that is just so important for us. It is so important to say that to our inner our inner child self. There we go. I can speak. Because a lot of times when we're little, you know, we feel like we're just not understood. Like, you just don't understand me. How many times do we say that? My little nephew who's 4, he says that all the time. You just not pay attention to me. You just don't understand me. And it's so interesting because it's like everybody is paying attention to him, but we can feel so misunderstood. Even when people are saying to us, like, well, why would you feel that? Your childhood was awesome. It doesn't matter if it was or if it wasn't. It matters how we feel and how we connect with that reality. So knowing that here and just saying I love you and letting that voice come forward so that we can see how it has impacted us as we are as we are adults today. So let's see the energy we need to be mindful of during this time. Angels and spirit guides show me clearly. This is the 5 of Pentacles, poverty mentality. So being mindful of feeling not good enough, of not feeling worthy, of thinking, I'm always going to be on the outside looking in, and it's just not true. It's just not true. But we can feel that way. We could have had trauma around money or around what we value as much as money growing up or in a relationship. Have you ever met somebody who when they meet a person, like they could have been doing great in finances, like everything was great for them, and then they meet this person and all of a sudden they have no money, right? They like it's always a struggle, it's always this, it's always that. And that could be the trauma, right? It doesn't have to be that we had money problems when we were little. It can be I met this person and part of their trauma with money was put into my reality. So just be mindful about that during this time. It moves us to the 5 of Cups reverse. Change your mind and change your life. See how you need to move forward for you. We're going to get stuck. We just are. We can see that again with the 4 of Cups here. Like these 2 cups, these 3 cups, these 3 cups. The sense of there are 3 ways that we think it should be done. And Spirit is going to be showing us a different path. And here it's going to be we're pulled out of what we think we should be doing. And Spirit's like, you're going to have to do this now. You don't want to, I don't care. So just be mindful about this. Here it's a little bit gentler, where it's like, here's healing, beautiful love. Here's a connection. Here's a release. We're going to see with the 2 of Swords reversed that there's this real sense of being really stubborn, of saying, but it has to work out like this. And Spirit is saying to us, okay, you need to take a beat. You need to step back. You need to take a breath. You need to reevaluate and then move forward. And so here we're looking at things and we're saying it has to be A, it has to be B, it has to be just like this. And we're going to be surprised. We're going to be surprised how the door opens for us. We're going to be surprised at the path that we need to move forward in. And it's going to be calling to our souls in a way that we almost felt forgotten. The Wheel of Fortune, we can really feel like the seasons are supposed to be changing. We feel like there's supposed to be this big change, and there is going to be this big change. It's put on hold a bit, but we go through this tower time, right? We go through the disappointment of what we had envisioned or how we had envisioned something not necessarily coming coming true the way that we had wanted it to. It's going to be a little bit wonkier, a little bit different. And we're seeing that with the 10 in the major arcana, the Wheel of Fortune. It's like things move forward differently. And we are moving forward differently within ourselves. And here, it's not necessarily the change that we want instantaneously, but it's going to be leading up to the change that we need within our lives. And it brings us to the tower. It brings us to that place of change. It brings us to an intensity. It can have us just stepping out of what has become our normal. Now, this does not have to be bad. This can be releasing a trauma, and all of a sudden, you could have that darkness that was around you, right? The storm that is going on, it passes. When the storm is over and there's that beautiful, bright, shiny day, you're like, oh, wow. I thought that storm would last forever. It was so scary when we were in it. And now it's done. So being aware of that during this time where there's an intensity to something and we're seeing it. We're seeing that intensity, but we are coming out of the intensity as well. Now, this intensity could have been for quite some time. It could have been since we were 16 years old. It could have lasted, 16 days, weeks or months, just knowing that it could have been for for a time that we've been in this sense of chaos, or we just have become used to the tower because it's always been one tower moment after another, and it's kind of like we're used to almost feeling like we're slipping and sliding all the time. Like we only walk on ice, we never walk on solid land. And once we acknowledge that within ourselves, we start to free ourselves. And it's like, it's not going to go as I expected it to. It's going to be wonderful. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be, the ride of a lifetime, which is what life is. But it's not going the way that we had expected it to. And that's going to lead us into an opening of the door to a new season, a new self, a new sense of like, oh, this is where I need to be. During this time, excuse me, I'm going to cough. During this time, be mindful of guarding your money, okay? Because we have that reverse right here, which is the only way that somebody could get to her coins. Her coins are under her foot and under the jug. She would know if somebody came up and tried to walk away with them. So be mindful of your prosperity or what you value as much as money. It feels like things can be just like a little bit sneakier during this time. It's nothing bad, but just be mindful about this. Also, we're not going to be as detail oriented as we should be. We can kind of be like, well, close enough is good enough. And sometimes, yes, we have to be not so strict with ourselves and say, close enough is good enough. I'm letting go of the perfect and I'm letting it be. But also there are other times where it's not letting go of the perfect that's important. It's almost like, well, I don't care how it comes. I just need things to be moving. And Spirit's like, no, we need to slow things down and take our time. That is also going to be a very powerful thing. There's going to be messages in your sleep around your prosperity. Okay. Be aware of those. They're not going to be as clearly remembered, okay, when we wake up, but we are going to be working out some problems around prosperity during this time. There's a lot that we are juggling, and our emotions can be very high. Be mindful of people not being as forthright or as honest with you as you need them to be. They could be afraid that they're going to hurt your feelings, or you're going to hurt their feelings, or something like that. But there's here a sense of like, I need to balance, I need to harmonize. And that is going to be one of the most important things that we can do. Multitasking isn't necessarily going to work for us the way that we thought it was. So just be mindful about that during this time, doing one thing, having something else to maybe be a palate cleanse, but stepping back from that one thing and stepping into the other. That's going to be important. I see that it's happening time and time again during the last half of this month, where it's just that sense of, don't try to take on too much. Don't think, oh, I can handle it all. Don't worry, it doesn't affect me. It will. During this time, it will affect us. The Four of Cups reversed, again, we are going to want things to go a certain way, and Spirit's just kind of like, it's not going to. It's not going to. Divinity is going to shout in our ear, you have to look over here. And that's just going to be important. That is going to be important during this time. And we are going to be annoyed that things aren't necessarily going as we had planned, but we're going to be pleasantly pleased with the direction that things start to take, or that things are taking, after we get through the initial like chaos of it all. And it brings us to the Eight of Wands reverse. Things are going to move slower during this time than we want them to. They just are, and that's okay. That is okay. Slowing it down and being in the moment and connecting And just knowing that certain things are out of our hands and trusting during this time, that's going to be the most important things that we can do, and focusing on the details of things, not getting lost in the details, not hyper fixating, but focusing on the details of things. And then slowly and steadily seeing ourselves open into our prosperity and into our wealth and into what we desire and what we need, and stepping out of a poverty mentality. That's going to be really important. A sense of like, this always happens to me. I always have this trauma, or I always have money issues, or I always have XYZ. It's like, nope, not the case. Not the case. It's a tower time. It's a time to look at things in a way that we wouldn't have looked at them if we weren't tested, like if we weren't put in a uncomfortable situation. But it's a time to re-see, reevaluate, and realign ourselves with our prosperity and our success. It moves us to our subconscious spirit message, which is beautiful, reverse. You need to surround yourself with the beautiful, Cancer. We are kind of like, it doesn't matter, right? Type of thing. Like, it doesn't need to be beautiful. It does. It does. And we're going to think, oh, that's frivolous, that's silly. It's not. Surrounding ourselves with the beautiful is calming and tranquil and lovely. So just be mindful about this. We're going to tend to write off the beautiful things and say, like, oh, I don't need this, or that's silly, or it doesn't matter. And it does. It does. We're going to really feel it in our soul. Our subconscious chakra message is clarity. This is the third eye chakra. And clarity is reversed, focusing on our third eye chakra, opening our third eye chakra, and letting ourselves see, letting ourselves be calm and be centered will give us clarity. But until we calm down, we meditate, we, open up this door, everything's just like a little bit blurry. It's not coming into focus the way that we would like it to. It moves us then to our subconscious energy to be mindful of. We're letting go of a lot of hurt and pain and disappointment with the Three of Swords reversed. It's like, nope, no, I'm not doing this. And we need to be mindful that with the release of that pain, there's a sense of like, well, where do I go now? Like, how do I move forward? Where is it that I need to be? So we're releasing the pain, we're releasing the hurt, we're releasing a lot of frustrations. And it can really make us feel like, well, now I need a new something, right? A new pain to come in and define me. And Spirit's like, no, what if we walked in joy? What if we were defined by joy, by love, by peace, by harmony? Like, what if that defined us? And like, what if we went so far to say, what if that defined every single human being, to walk in kindness, to embrace love? Like, wouldn't that be the most spectacular thing? And wouldn't that just change our world? So it's like, do that. Walk in peace, walk in love. Be that spark, that change that needs to come forward. And it moves us then to our subconscious tarot message. And it's the King of Pentacles, prosperity, success, bounty, and abundance. Subconsciously, we're moving to the highest court card of the earth sign energy. This is also Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, but we're moving towards success, prosperity, bounty, and abundance. We're moving towards planting our seeds and seeing how everything is interconnected, and seeing how we're moving forward in the most beautiful way, in a way that grows seeds that will bear fruit, you know, for long after we can reap the benefit of it. And that's an amazing thing. So we're going to slowly, steadily, and beautifully build our prosperity, and subconsciously knowing that we're worth it, knowing that we're absolutely worth it, and that there's the Five of Pentacles, right? There is that energy that's trying to knock us off our path, but we know our worth and we see ourselves, and that is huge. Okay. All right, Cancer. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. Please note that this meditation and healing will be accompanied by a loud sound. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Cancer. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless. Bye.